Welcome to the TTIEPOD, where we're using this opportunity in 2026 to sit down at various events, doing event takeovers. Now, we're here at FILDA 2026 in Bengo, not Luanda, Bengo in Angola. And we're sitting down with various people from various companies. And as you know, in TTIEPOD, we do not introduce our guests, we get them to introduce themselves. So let's go over to our guest. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much.
Who are you and which organization do you represent?
My name is Pippa Coates. I'm here in Angola with the Halo Trust.
Okay.
We are a non-profit organisation. Our specialty is we work to demine Angola, to remove landmines to enable fast and quick development of the country.
Okay. And when you say Halo Trust, Angola has this great relationship with Halo Trust. I know since the 90s, the Halo Trust has been here doing the mining. And when we spoke earlier off camera, you were telling me that Halo Trust has now moved from Huambo. What's going on? Tell us, give us a bit more information. What is actually going on?
Yes, so we're very proud to have been working in Angola since 1994. We're proud along this time working in partnership with the government of Angola, working in areas of high priority to clear landmines to make way for development efforts. Sadly, at the end of the civil war in Angola, there was left a horrible legacy of landmines. This was really shown attention when Princess Diana came to visit in 1997. I'm sure you remember this very historic, this big moment for the world back then, and for Mine Action as well, putting it on the map, showing the issue, the challenges that remain. And since then, we've made amazing progress. So even where you see Princess Diana in that image, it's hair in a cornfield, that's actually in the center of Huambo, which is the third largest city in Angola. The area has been completely transformed. We cleared over 1,000 mines in that area. There's now a hospital, a school, you know, this is 1,000, yeah. And this is what mine clearance is all about. It's clearing these lethal hazards, enabling, you know, children to be able to play safely, for businesses to grow, and for communities to prosper in this, you know, away from the legacy of past conflict.
Wow, that number 1,000 is still mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's just one. That's the thing. It's just one minefield. Yeah, I mean, there is huge. Halo has cleared in the last 30 years 125,000 landmines. That's just us. There are other operators. There's a huge problem, and what this represents is, you know, every landmine that's cleared is a life that's saved. Absolutely. At a very basic level. You know, it's 125,000, and then we have all these other items as well that we're clearing. So we're very proud to be here, you know, working to continue to support Angola, you know, reach those development levels, ensure the development of the country as a whole. You know, we've had some amazing achievements. So as we spoke about, Huambo is almost entirely cleared of landmines, you know, from one of the most heavily conflict affected areas. To now see all this business, all this growth, all this investment is amazing. And so Halo has shifted and moved, and we're now focused on the southeast of the country. So provinces like Bio, Bengo, clearing along the Lobito Corridor, but also in national parks in the southeast to support Angola with these bigger initiatives, you know, tourism, all these other conservation, all these really important things.
So when we talk about the Lobito Corridor, so literally along it, you guys are also clearing the mines off there as well. Wow.
Of course, so the railway itself is clear, but what's not is there's still communities and areas around.
Yeah.
Yes, so we think about the Lobito Corridor, this amazing project that's got a lot of you know, emphasis, especially at the moment. And while it's so important, what we're here doing is we're clearing the areas around, making space for agricultural land, supporting local farmers, local community members, again through roads, access points. That sadly in Angola, there's still communities that are completely cut off for essential services due to the presence of landmines. So we're prioritizing our work to support those community members, you know, to grow and safely expand their community, and also get involved, you know, with these other amazing, bigger, you know, projects that are happening. You know, connect them to the corridor so that can connect them, you know, to other provinces. You know, to have, you know, sell their produce, supporting, you know, the growth of supply chains. I think Angola has abundant, fertile land, especially in the center. So BA is where we're working, and you know, 65% of the hazardous areas right now will be used for agriculture once they're cleared. So it's, you know, helping get that step forward, clearing those lands, you know, to feed Angola, and also, you know, feed, you know, much wider than that as well.
I'm going to come back to Lobito Corridor again, because I was having a conversation with some people, and they were like, Kamal, when you look at the Lobito Corridor, what do you think? And straight away people say, oh, railway. I was like, no, the railway is just one aspect. You have a domino effect around the communities around it. And as you said, some of these communities they have no access. And the whole idea of Lobito Corridor is to change the environments, change the lifestyle of people along that corridor. When we talk about along the corridor, we're not talking about, I don't know, a couple of meters or half a mile from the Lobito Corridor. It's vast.
It is. It is incredibly vast. I mean, right now we know there's around 400 minefields remaining along the corridor. This is within 50 kilometers either side. And this is
How
mainly
many?
for 50 kilometers
Only?
either side. And there's about 400 minefields that we know of that still remain. This is from BA, Mishikom, Shikoles, so kind of east of the country. And so I think, it's an imperative to clear these areas, not only for, to help communities get involved, to help them grow, to enhance livelihoods, to enhance agriculture, but also to really, support that project as a whole. I think our main thing here is, hopefully working with, UK Embassy, others to really continue to clear minefields to enable, safe land as a prerequisite to all of these amazing projects that are currently going on. So the investments and making sure that community members are, inclusive stakeholders within this, that they can have access to all these amazing projects and have access to these services as well.
That's great to hear. Great to hear.
Yeah.
And in terms of the work that Halo Trust does Halo Trust also partner with the other demining companies as well to focus on certain areas, or it's like, okay, you do that area, we do that area, or is there like joint work?
There is a lot to do in Angola. So the best way that we do this is that we all have our own areas of operations, but we come together very closely. So we share learning on the best methods that work well, so that we can all do things a lot faster, work as a much more a sector approach to what we're doing, like meetings and stuff. So it's really good, but we do work separately, again, just to make sure that we're targeting the areas of most need, that people are getting the services they need through MyClearance.
You said something about collaboration. And one of the things that we speak about on TTIEPOD and we've spoke about over the past year is collaboration. In order for growth, in order to create achievements that are long lasting, we have to work together. So it's great to hear that yourselves and the others are working together, sharing knowledge, because that's one of the key things, right? Knowledge sharing is key in whatever we do here in Angola. That's how we impact the communities and we impact the country as a nation. So no, it's great to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's needed, we can't all do this on our own. There's a big problem. So we have to work as a sector, we have to work as partners together to remove the problem, to enable safe lands. Everyone can really benefit from this as well.
And I'm sure it's also about empowering the locals as well, right?
Absolutely.
So as you're doing this work, you're training the locals. It's all about the locals actually understanding how to deal with these matters.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm obviously here talking to you today, but I mean, most of our staff, almost all of our colleagues who are out there, in the provinces removing the landmines as we speak, they are all recruited from the areas in which we work. For us, this is how it works better, this best model. It's about training our staff, giving them the skills to do this very technical job, and then also, using that and then giving that back to the community as well through employment. I think it's also very proud as well for the amount of women that we employ in Angola.
Oh.
So
what's your ratio?
We're 45%, so almost half, and we want to get to gender parity, yes. And I mean, mine action is typically seen as a male kind of role because it's dealing with explosives, it's, a very dangerous job, but you women absolutely should be and can be involved in this process. They should also be, the stakeholders who are clear in their community, leading teams of other staff, and so it's something we're very, very focused on and very proud of here as well in Angola.
That's nice. One thing I know a lot of people that are watching don't realize that a lot of technology is being used as well, right? And people don't realize. I remember I went to the Halo Trust office in Huambo, and I remember going into a room and I just seen the screens, the maps, and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this is a lot more technical than people actually realize when it comes to using technology into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at a fundamental level, the way we clear landmines is usually with detectors. So, we use like typical metal detectors that detect metal signals, and then we excavate these and investigate them to see if it's perhaps an explosive item. This is the usual way. We use this for many reasons, but I mean, looking forward, we want to get rid of mines as fast as possible and as safe as possible as well.
Yeah.
As there's been this drive to use greater, technologies, more innovation, and Angola has actually become a bit of a hub for that. Because, again, a very sad legacy of the war is that we found over 72 different explosive ordnance types from manufacturing about 22 different countries. Yeah, and this is rare. Normally, you don't find this many different types of, explosive ordnance. But what this means is there's a challenge, because each different explosive item has a different threat. We need to understand how to safely remove that threat. But what it also means is that, like, at a very, broader level, we can use different technologies to try and do this, and that's what we do. So we've been trialing lots of different detectors. There's some really exciting trials coming up this year. This technology is used here in Angola and then shared globally. So one of these is also with the use of drones. So
Okay.
we're using drones that we use to kind of identify if areas are hazardous. We do it in many ways. One of them is through thermal imagery and technology. So we fly drones across areas during the day. The metal in the mine heats up and we can kind of see where the mines are, or we can kind of see through LiDAR, a new technology, and kind of see changes in the ground level as well. And what this does is it helps us clear mines a lot safer, especially some of the vast areas we're working in, with very limited infrastructure. So it really helps us. And then this technology that's grown here in Angola, that's trialed here in Angola, is then used elsewhere. So, the LiDAR drones are now used in Ukraine, they're used in Colombia and Sri Lanka. And
It started here.
And it started here, yeah. And so I think that's something that Angola should be proud of,
Yeah.
and the government should be proud of as well for supporting this work. And so, yeah, Angola is, not only great for internally in here, but on a much wider, broader scale, the learning here is amazing globally.
Well, there you go. Angola is impacting not just the continent, but the entire world. Now, that is something great, and it's great to see that, because a lot of people don't think of Angola when straight away say, okay, we're looking at innovation, new technology, trying new things out. They don't think of Angola. So
Yeah.
it's great to know that this sector is actually looking at that as, okay, do you know what? Let's test this out.
Yeah.
And from that testing now, we can impact everywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, Pippa, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Oh, thank you.
Really appreciate that. If there's anything you want to send out there, any news you want to give us, apart from moving from Huambo to Manong, is there any other news you want to give us?
Not wholly, just that, we've been here for 30 years. We want to see Angola as a mine-free country. That is very much our aim, working in partnership with the UK government and also the Angolan government to achieve that. So for all of you who support us, thank you very much. And for all of you who want to get more information, please let us know. We're always here to share what we know and share our knowledge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
To our audience out there, keep on watching this space, because I believe Halo Trust is bringing about more change. Of course, Huambo has been cleared. Now it's look at the rest of the country, especially in the south, and help clear that and make Angola a better place for you and for the generation to come. And also to impact you that is outside, that is also using technology that's been born in Angola. Take it out there as well. So till next time, I've been your host, KD. See you next time. I'm sure we're going to put more information about Halo Trust. So keep on watching this space. Pippa, thank you very much.